Egyptian women. We are going to a short break and I'm going to be back with you. Welcome back. In Sydney, in Australia, an exhibition was made or held, and it encompasses Egyptian monuments and antiquities, and the exhibition was for the Ramses II, and all the tickets were sold out. More than 814,000 tickets were sold. We are going to know more in the following report.
The Ramses and the Gold of the Pharaohs exhibition in Sydney, showcasing priceless artifacts of King Ramses II. This all-new multi-sensory museum experience provides visitors with a window into the life and accomplishments of King Ramses II, more commonly known as Ramses the Great, who ruled Egypt for 67 years, the second longest reign for any pharaoh, living an astonishing 92 years. Exclusive to Sydney, Ramses and Gold of the Pharaohs features 182 priceless artifacts, including the sarcophagus of Ramses II, one of the most impressive royal coffins from ancient Egypt ever to be discovered, and other treasures and one-of-a-kind relics, some of which have never left Egypt before. On this immersive journey, visitors will discover a stunningly preserved collection of artifacts, including sarcophagi, animal mummies, magnificent jewelry, spectacular royal masks, exquisite amulets, and ornament golden treasures of the tomb, showcasing the superb workmanship of Egyptian artisans. The exhibition also features a virtual reality experience that takes people on a whirlwind tour of two of Ramses' most impressive monuments, namely the temples of Abu Simbel and the tomb of Queen Nefertari, the favorite royal consort of Pharaoh Ramses II. The cinematic motion chairs viewers will fly through temples, sandstorms, and even come face to face with Ramses' mummy in this electrifying animated journey. And in continuation of the great success witnessed by the Ramses and the Gold of the Pharaohs exhibition since its opening last November at its fourth station at the Australian Museum in Sydney, the exhibition achieved great public demand in conjunction with the Christmas and New Year's celebrations, as all the tickets for the month of January were sold out. The citizens in Australia in general and Sydney in particular are keen to visit the exhibition from the first day of its opening, which indicates the success of the exhibition and that it will achieve a record number of visitors, as it achieved a huge percentage of ticket sales during only 2 months.
Well, to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have this phone with our dear guest, Mrs. Nagham Mohamed Ali, the tourism expert. Good day to you.
Good day to you. Happy to be with you.
My pleasure also. How do you see the importance of the exhibition that was held in Sydney, in the Australia Museum in Sydney, that encompasses the treasures of King Ramses II, and all the tickets were sold out?
This is expected, of course. The pharaonic treasures of Egypt has been always the wonder of the whole world. Everybody is looking to have the pleasure and enjoy these treasures and experience and see how magnificent and important this historical part of the era of the whole world was. And apparently, this exhibition was held during the Christmas and New Year period, where everybody was having vacation. So they enjoyed having the opportunity of the exposure of the pharaonic exhibition being in Sydney during this period. Of course, all the nationalities would love to be or to have the experience of seeing such treasures, and especially the Ramses. Ramses has been always very special to everybody. The photos of Ramses have been, of the monument, of course, and the mosque, has been always a very special and unique piece of art for the whole world. So it is expected, of course, that the tickets are sold out.
Yes, what are exactly, Ms. Nagham, what were showcased, or what was the pieces that were being shown there in this exhibition?
It was related all to Ramses, but in particular, I wouldn't be able to say exactly in order not to give wrong information about that.
Yes. Yes. So what is the importance of holding exhibitions abroad for boosting tourism in Egypt, or marketing for tourism in Egypt, when some pieces of our monuments are exhibited or shown in exhibitions abroad, like nowadays the Sydney Museum and this exhibition, also before this years ago, where the exhibition in London and in Paris for the treasures of Tutankhamun before they came back to Egypt to stay forever in the Grand Egyptian Museum. How do you see the importance of such exhibitions for boosting tourism in Egypt?
Well, that's a great question. And you have said the magic word of this is part of the marketing. Marketing has been always about how to display your product, how to promote your product in a certain way, where the media, or before the media, the customer would know about the product or the item you are marketing. And this is as well, in addition to testing the market, by showing such exhibitions, it would test the market, how do they respond to the treasures of Egypt, and how they would like, or they would experience such treasures. So part of the marketing is to do this. And of course, this affects the selling and the marketing for Egypt. When you do a marketing plan, you would put some of such marketing issues, marketing exhibitions that would help you promote the place. So like people who would love the pharaonic history and seeing such an exhibition, they would love, of course, this will encourage them to especially have 20% of the whole world's history. And the pharaonic in particular was something that's very unique. And you cannot find it anywhere else in the world. Other histories are very similar. If you go to Europe, for example, and you go to the old cities, it's very similar. There is not much differences. There is not much effect in the culture itself like the pharaonic. Not only in the size, not only in the way it was designed, how unique it was, the colors, things are made in a very professional way. They're even studying now how are people doing the profile of the face, the eyes, how it's designed, how it's curved. So this is all unique things that you show to the whole world when you send such an exhibition.
Yes.
Since years, as you said, there was a lot of exhibitions being sent to Europe and to the Americas, Australia, to showcase how the pharaonic were very special and unique history. And
Yes.
this, of course, encourages a lot of the demand of the very far countries like Australia to come to Egypt. So they would think of spending a vacation of a couple of weeks in Egypt, so they would have a real program around the pharaonic historical culture. And you have two other many historical eras of the world, like the Christianity, like the Islamic part, the pharaonic, and so on and so forth. So they would find that it's a rich opportunity to see Egypt, and this encourages a lot of such demand.
Yes, of course, it attracts tourism to Egypt, of course. So, Mrs. Nagham, also concerning what the exhibition encompasses, I mean the pieces that encompasses, we can feel here in Egypt that the whole world or the whole tourists around the world are always going crazy with the Ramses II or Tutankhamun. You know, these two historical characters are always, the people are going crazy with them. You know, did you get me? So give us an idea about also the importance of what we are showing, not only pharaonic pieces or monuments, and that's it. No, when it's belongings or the treasures of Tutankhamun or the King Ramses II, it attracts more exhibitors, I mean, and visitors, exhibitors and visitors, of course.
I'm not sure I'm getting your point. Are you referring to what they have done?
No, these two characters, I mean, these two kings are very famous in the history of Egypt. Whether Tutankhamun, we saw this, you know, the tickets were sold out also when the belongings or the treasures of Tutankhamun were exhibited in London and in Paris and in the United States also. Was the same? Yeah.
Of course, if we talk about Tutankhamun being one of the youngest kings that ruled Egypt, and that he died very young, and what he has done in relation to the monuments that was left, the treasures, how sophisticated the masks were done, how they put the monument and kept it until today, where people are seeing it. All these are not only treasures, but it's like the secrets of the pharaonics that have lived, if you
for
think
these long years. Yes.
Yes, exactly. 20 centuries, and they are doing things that we still cannot match today.
Yes, of course.
So the science haven't even reached what they have been doing in order to keep the circus, to keep the mummies in such state. And you're still seeing them and they're living. And the temples, how big are the temples? You can't build such things.
Yes.
With the earthquakes, with the whatever happens, water flooding, still these treasures are living. So you cannot imagine that with such technology, what we're living in, the pharaonic treasures have been living with its colors, with its buildings, without being hurt. So all these things are really significant for anybody who would think how these people were really
accurate in doing everything.
Yeah, of course, not only accurate, but they're far advanced in their science than now.
Yes, yes. And the material they made the stones or the statues from are still living until now. It's not ruined by the years or something, yes.
Exactly.
Yes, that's true.
The colors are still living up till now.
Yes.
The stones, the masks, the gold. When we opened the treasures of the cultural museum, there was someone representing the World Tourism Organization, and they said you can use such jewelry to be an art and to be a trend for the ladies for the year.
Yes.
Because it's something very special up till now.
Also concerning the exhibition in Sydney for King Ramses II, also King Ramses II is very famous and the whole world knows it, of course, and is attracted to this character because he ruled for a long time. He ruled Egypt for years, isn't it?
It is true, correct. And if you read about the history, you would see how these people were caring about their people, caring about improving Egypt and their treasures and what they have, which made them very famous in the history. And of course, people who are studying Egyptology would be really interested to see the treasures that have been left after these people and look into the history on its land, which brings us back to your question, how this affects the marketing to Egypt.
Yes. I was speaking to you, Ms. Nagham, about the restoration and renovation work that is taking place in Egypt, in several governorates here in Egypt, and in several monumental sites here in Egypt. Like recently, 2 days ago, the team working in renovation and restoration work in the Karnak Temple have announced that they have finished 90% of the restoration work that took place inside the Karnak Temple with coloring the columns inside the temple. So how do you see the importance of this in attracting more tourists to Egypt? Because even if someone have already visited the Karnak Temple, now he can revisit it and see the colors, the original one. Okay?
Yeah. It's very important that we keep our history and our culture and all the monuments in good shape. Keeping them in good shape has several aspects, whether keeping the place clean, keeping the place in good shape, keeping the monument itself with its best way in colors and in restoration. So this is what Egypt has been doing recently during the past few years. We have been looking into the temples, the monuments. We have opened a lot of cultural visits, like the Cultural Museum, where we have the circuits of 20 important kings and queens. So this is a very important part of Egypt, keeping the history, which is unique in the whole world, in addition to maintaining and keeping the areas for the public, for any visitor, for tourists who are coming to visit Egypt in the best shape. This is part of the unique idea, unique opinion and vision that we should keep for the world, to see Egypt in its best shape. So before this era, we used to have the temples not in good shape, not clean. People are leaning to the walls, which damages the walls. Abroad, if you have a palace, they would give you something to wear before coming in order not to damage the place with the dust or with the shoes or whatever. So we should, our special and unique temples are kept in the open air for 20 centuries, for thousands of years. Now we should at least look after it in order to have it in the best shape and restore the parts that are being cut by the winds or by the air or being in the open air. So it is a very important part. And for a second visit, when you see the place in a better shape, you would feel great. And it will make you, encourage you to come back so many times to see the place and other new places, of course.
Yes, yes. So, Mrs. Nagham, also there have been several discoveries here in Egypt, and among them is a very important discoveries that took place in the Saqqara district here in Giza Plateau. And these discoveries is a series of discoveries that took place in Saqqara district for years now, for 3 or 4 years. Every now and then we hear another new discovery. So the new discoveries, how is it important? And also it is made by Egyptian team. The excavation work took place by Egyptian hands. So give us an idea also about the importance of this in attracting the tourism to Egypt and the discovery of coffins inside the Giza, the Saqqara in Giza.
Egypt has been very rich with its treasures. And part of these treasures are the pharaonic treasures that are being hidden and under the ground for years and years. And we have been adding a lot of treasures to Egypt, to the Egyptian visitors actually. So during the past years, as you said, there is a lot of work. We have been adding museums. We have been enhancing the treasures and adding pieces. We have been doing a lot of digging in order to get more of the sarcophagus that's being hidden. The new cultural museum has 20 sarcophagus on its own. We have opened a lot of museums, and as you said, the platforms and the work has been on its peak during the past few years. Very important that the Egyptians themselves are doing this, so they're adding to their history and experience and impressing the world with more of their work on, and the treasures that they are recovering and getting to the world to see. And this is more impressive for everybody, whether it's the treasure itself or the work by the Egyptians. And of course, the visitors are seeing more treasures to Egypt, which enhances as well the visit of any tourist coming to Egypt. He can stay in for 1 month, seeing different people and new things, and still within the pharaonic era. Let alone if we talk about other historical parts of Egypt, like the Egyptian, like the Muslims, like the Christianity, like a lot of other areas that's available in Egypt to see. So of course, adding new treasures is a plus. It's a very rich country for any tourist coming to spend some time in Egypt. He can stay long enough and see a lot of new things, even if he stays for 3 months. Yes. Let alone if you are an Egyptologist, you would see a lot and you can study a lot about the historical part of Egypt.
Yes. I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information. I really had the pleasure to have this one with you. Thank you very much, Ms. Nagham Mohamed Ali, the tourism expert. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. Ladies and gentlemen, short break, and I'm going to be back with you. Welcome back now with the fashion segment. We are going to watch the pharaonic costume and accessories. You're going to enjoy the following segment very much. Well, with this, my dear viewers, we come to the end of this episode of our program, Women's World. My name is Amal Mukhtar. Thank you for watching.